harvest time and there are lots of higher maintenance pieces of equipment running on most farms. Today is a great time to focus on grease. With a few of the basics, here's this week's Iron Talk. Combines, grain carts, tillage tools, and more often run just one time a year, and it's been 10 months since many of them ran the last time. Add to that the fact that you just can't afford downtime during harvest, and you can see the need for a refresher on preventative maintenance. Let's talk about grease. First of all, grease is made up largely of oil. The oil serves as the primary lubricant in the grease in most situations. There can be a tremendous difference between the oils and types of oils used in making different types of grease. The other big differences from one brand of grease to the next are the thickeners and additives they contain. Thickeners act much like a sponge does with water. Thickeners in grease hold oil and release it as pressure dictates that lubrication is needed. In storage, it's very common to see some of the oil come out of the solution in the grease and settle at the top. This is normal and really shows some of the same activity the grease will undergo as it's in use. The thickeners can also pull that oil back in to some degree as the machines they're lubricating are cooling down and not in use. Proper storage and use of grease is something that seems basic, but visiting most farm shops I find a couple of guidelines that should be followed. First, store grease tubes upright and keep them off the floor. This helps maintain a consistent temperature and also keeps the oils from bleeding out of the grease. Second, the grease on the outside of the zerk is actually designed to keep dirt and contamination out of the machine. So it's a good idea to leave a little bit of grease on the outside of that zerk. However, cleaning the zerk off before adding more grease is important too. Also, the grease gun needs to be clean, so no dirt is introduced in the greasing process. Over-greasing is another common problem. For this, we simply recommend following the manufacturer's recommendations to avoid problems. That's all for today's Iron Talk, and now back to the show.